Hi guys, thanks again for watching. I am here to do a ColourPop video on the Build Your Own Palette BYOP. Oh, I hope you can't see my address. I'm going to get going right now because we've got a lot to cover. But before we do, make sure you give me a big thumbs up. It really does help. And if you're not already subscribed below, please do. Like I say every time, I'm a very small channel and everyone really helps. So thank you in advance. So let's get going. Okay, so here's what it came in, made in LA, just a normal box. And what I did is I ordered the Build Your Own palette with 2 of the face ones and then 4 eyeshadows, I think. I did it like 3 days ago. I don't know how, I already don't remember. But I'm just gonna show you guys what it looks like. So I've already opened it just to make sure everything came in, but I have not opened the individual things. So what you get in it is really just like the loose eyeshadow palettes. They come kind of like this if you've ever ordered the single ones from ColourPop. And then I got 2 pressed powders, face ones, and I'll explain why I got 2 later. And I'm going to do swatches and I'm going to insert which colors I got in the description. And I'll also probably add them when I do the color swatches. And then I got the palette. So let's see, it comes like this. It's really cute. I think this color is adorable. And then you have your magnetic spot for the pans. I'm going to do swatches and then I'm going to apply it all to my face. So let's get going. So just so you know, the 2 darker brown shades did kind of stain my fingers just doing those swatches. So that's just something to keep in mind. Now, if you've watched any of my other videos, you know that I don't really use eyeshadow a ton, but I wanted to try making my own, which is what we have here. And that's so that I can really get the shadows that I want to make a really natural, subtle look. So for me, I went about it this way. I got 2 of the bigger face pans. So this one is a pressed powder. So recently I've started using pressed powders as opposed to loose powders, and I find that with my dry, kind of aging skin, especially under my eyes where I wrinkle a lot, it has been kind of a game changer for me. So I wanted to try the ColourPop one. That's why I have this one. The next one I had to choose between a blush and a bronzer. And for me, I get pretty tan in the summertime, and even when it's not in the summer, that I can live without bronzer just because I tend to have a little bit more color in my face. So I just chose the blush. You of course can choose a bronzer if that's what you prefer. As for the shadows, I chose to get 4 obviously, and I chose all matte-ish. So I have 3 mattes, which are these 3, and then this one lightest shade is actually a satin color, and I chose that because it actually can really double as a highlight shade, so that's kind of fun. So I've already put on foundation and eyebrows, and next I'm just going to go in and kind of play around with these shadows a little and try to do a very neutral, very subtle look. And then I'm also going to put on that blush and the pressed powder and see what it looks like. I'm going to try this little, what is this, e.l.f. defining eye brush. It's a little bit of an angled brush, and I'm going to try using the satin one just on my lid. You could probably use your finger with this one as well, but I'm just going to try this. I'm noticing with this satin shade, if you brush it on, you're going to lose a lot of the pigment, which is fine. I actually kind of like that. So, but if you want more of a pop with the satin, either use your finger or kind of dab it on like so. So this color is definitely giving me a lot of gray vibes. It does have kind of like a cool brown tint, but it is definitely pulling very gray, so just keep that in mind. Now you can go a lot of different ways. One way to go to really make this more of a nighttime look is to use this dark brown and do the outer corners. You could also, I think it would be really pretty to go into this blush and do that in the same on the outer corners, and then pop it in to tie it in when you put on blush. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use my MAC 263 brush, and I'm going to go into this dark brown shade, and this is what I have dreams of because I love finding a good brown shade to do your eyeliner with. Okay, so we have our eyeshadow down, and I really like that brown shade that I used for the eyeliner. This color right here is definitely pulling quite gray, which I don't have a problem with, but I wasn't quite expecting that, so yeah. Alright, let's go in and put a little bit of this the pressed powder under my eyes to set my concealer, and then put the blush on. So I've actually been using this e.l.f. highlighter brush to put pressed powder because it's the perfect shape and it's light, so you don't like load it on up. And sometimes I feel like as it gets closer to summer, I get greasy everywhere, so I put a little just on the places where I don't really want. And then I'm going to go into the blush. And why don't we do a little bit of the highlighter? Oh, that's pretty. So you can definitely see the satin shade. I can use it as a highlighter. It's really subtle, but it does give me that glow that if you like highlighters, that you want. So final thoughts on this palette and the idea of it. I love, love, love the idea, and I think done properly, I'm just going to tell you right out, I don't think I did it properly. I think this shade, while I do really like it, it just wasn't the exact shade that I was hoping for, nor was this one. I'm not going to return them. I think I can do plenty with them, but they're not the most kind of cohesive eyeshadow palette that I could have made. And that's kind of like, it's part of the fun of this thing, but it's also, you could go horribly wrong. Now, the other thing I wanted to talk about is the price. So all 4 of the eyeshadows were $3.95, which is a really good deal. And then the 2 bigger palettes were $6.60. So not that that's bad. I mean, if you think about getting a blush for $6.60, that's still a really good deal. So altogether, this comes to $29. So you kind of get a little carried away being like, $3.95, that's such a great deal. And then altogether, you're kind of like, oh, $30. That is much more than a normal palette for this size. But again, that really comes down to me getting 2 of the bigger face ones. I think all told, it actually is a good deal, but you just have to keep in mind that you are getting 2 really big pans for the face ones if that's what you choose. But I highly recommend just kind of trying to figure out the swatches, because the website, it doesn't really do a great job with that. And my only problem, which was again user error, is this one, which I prefer maybe a little bit more of a brown, not as gray of a shadow. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I do recommend this. I love ColourPop. I think their shadows are such a great deal for the price. This is the first time I've had any of the blush, and I think it's a really subtle blush, which is okay. And I'm just going to play around with it. I think it's going to be really pretty just putting it all over my eyes, nothing else, in the summertime, and doing kind of like that monochromatic look. Anyways, I hope you guys liked this video. Definitely give me a big thumbs up, like I said before. It helps me so, so much. And let me know if you ordered one, what colors you're thinking, and anything you want to talk about in the comments below. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!